Frank Maddock again from FinnHill Realty. Our day 6 video specifically about the market. Again, people ask the question there, is this going to decimate or is it going to drop the prices? Is there a bubble? Again, in a place like where I am right here, this is the Best Western behind me, by the way. It sits right at the ocean right here. People are allowed to go onto the beach, but they are not allowed to drive their cars, which is typical here. I love to do it. It gets a little chilly sometime because of the wind, and so having a windshield in front of your face is good, but for right now, that's not the case. People still do their hikes. Market-wise, in a place like Ocean Shores and a place like Grays Harbor County, we're going to continue to see increases of probably 10% a year. That was the case last year. In some cases, even more. The biggest thing essentially is this: we're beach property, which is affordable, and that's an unusual commodity in the year 2020. I had noticed that 18 years ago was the first time I came out here. I brought my dad here to pass on in 2013, which he did in 2014. We got him a house. But the question comes out to be, again, what about the market? And the answer is, do not panic. Okay, your property is going to hold its value for the most part. As a matter of fact, think about it. If you have a mortgage and your payments are affordable, even if your property went down, you got a place to live. Okay, that's the critical piece. The rents are going to keep on increasing over time. My brother and his wife had a 2-bedroom in San Diego in 1982 for $4.25, a 2-bedroom, 1 apartment. Right now, that thing probably rents for $2,500 or $3,000. Now, mind you, that's 40 years ago, but if you look at the rate of increase, it's still probably compounded somewhere about 9 or 10%. It's pretty strong. Ocean Shores and the Grays Harbor area are just wonderful places to be. Very mild summers. The winter times are also extremely mild, which is nice. We get a lot of rain in the winter, but so what? You know, it's better than slipping and sliding on snow. And it's really quite a lovely place to be otherwise. Just a lot of going on, you know, in terms of nature, water, again, mountains, the whole works. And so I don't see the property going down. It hasn't gone down for several years here. People are moving now to Ocean Shores from all over. There used to be sort of a little bit of a dearth of people here, for that matter, but in the last 7 years since I moved my dad here, it's no longer the case. Property values, in my opinion, will continue to increase. People are always looking to buy a good piece of property. They're always looking to sell under the right conditions, for that matter, which is the right price. It's typically what you have there. If your price is right, somebody's going to buy it from you. But we have just wonderful property, and again, where are you going to get a beach house for $200,000 or less? I actually saw a couple here that were in the, they were real fixers, mind you, but they were in about the $60,000, $70,000 range. And again, you know, from a standpoint of living at the Pacific Ocean, that's still pretty good if you've got the ability to essentially be able to fix, to have it repaired, something like that. So I don't see property values going down in the foreseeable future in a place like Ocean Shores. Will there be corrections in the higher markets like Seattle, in New York, etc.? Sure. Will they be major that they're never going to come back up again? Probably not. About a year ago, I was at a meeting with some Microsoft partners in Bellevue, Washington, and I spoke with one partner. He was from France. And he told me at the time he was paying about $3,000 a month for rent for a nice house for he and his wife in Kirkland, which is a suburb of Seattle. And I said, my gosh, that's expensive. He said, I would get about 1/4 of that space in Paris. So it'd be 4 times as expensive to live in Paris. And so everything's relative. It is very expensive in a lot of places like Seattle, still very affordable at the beach. And again, for that reason, number one, I don't think property is going to go down here. I think it will continue to increase at probably 10% or more a year by historical standards of the last few years. And the other thing essentially is this: even in the more high price markets, or even if you're not at the beach where I am, hang on there. Don't panic. Okay, enjoy the property that you have. Enjoy being able to walk on the place that you live, to do things, to have your family around, to be able to play music, to mow the lawn if you want. It may seem a little bit mundane to some extent, but having that ability to be able to own your property and mow your own lawn is a pretty good thing too. So again, the market's good. It will continue to stay good. Slow right now, sure. Only so many listings going on. When everything opens up a little bit more, you'll see things zoom. And even in places, again, where it is expensive, or even if it's down, just hang right there and don't worry, because there's just, oh, I thought for a second there were eagles there. It turned out to be crows. But hang in there, and just treasure the time that you have with the people that you love, and if you got some good property, go walk it a little bit for that matter and enjoy. And if you don't, let me help you find some. All right. But in the meantime, just don't panic and don't worry. Just keep on going. And there's nothing like real estate. The old Will Rogers, buy land, they're not making any more of it, is quite true. So I wish everybody happiness, health, and do not worry. Bye.